Several ways to do it. Go to marklevinshow.com, our magnificent website. That's the home base. marklevinshow.com, and at the top you'll see a number of links. One of them says Audio Rewind. All you do is click that. And you can do that on your iPhone or your any other handheld device you have, or your iPad or whatever. You know what you have. Or you can go to Apple Podcast and type in Mark Levin. Or go to Google Podcast and type in Mark Levin. So once more, you can go to marklevinshow.com, our great radio website. It's actually a very nice website. And go to Audio Rewind. You can type in Mark Levin at Apple Podcast. Go to Google Podcast. Again, type in Mark Levin. And there are other ways to do it too, but those are three good ways. And you'll always catch the show. Or maybe you'll say, I just heard him say something. Did he really say that? Did he really? Sally, I just heard him. You want to hear what he said? Anyway, all you have to do is go to the podcast or rewind. And it is a very fast-growing podcast. So if we're preempted somewhere, or if we're tape delayed, or if you didn't catch the show live, you can always hear us. And I've made the strongest effort I know how to make the show available on every platform. Satellite, terrestrial. You can go on your computer, podcast, whatever it is. We're available everywhere. And so you can check it out. One more time, our podcast, marklevinshow.com. Look at the top links at the top of the page. Hit Audio Rewind. You can set it up that way. Apple Podcast, type in Mark Levin. Google Podcast, type in Mark Levin. You know, if you listen to any podcast, however you get to that podcast is how you can get to my podcast pretty much, right, Mr. Producer? Just type in Mark Levin or Mark Levin Show, and it'll be there right for you. You can take me with you everywhere. I mean, almost everywhere. Everywhere. What were they doing here? Our good friend John Watt contacted me today. Maybe he informed me of something I hadn't known. He's been banned from Twitter. John Watt. John Watt, expert on crime prevention, and the Second Amendment. That's John Watt. John Watt, how are you, my friend?
Doing very good to talk to you again, Mark.
John, what's going on?
Everybody has been locked out of my account. In March, I put up a tweet dealing with mass shooting in New Zealand. And all the tweet basically said was that the shooter there was, quote, a socialist and environmentalist who hates capitalists and free trade. And I also noted that he believed his attack would lead to more gun control in New Zealand and the United States.
And are these facts?
Yeah, they were just taken from his manifesto, things that he had stated explicitly himself.
So you looked at his manifesto, you gleaned information from his manifesto, you provided it publicly on Twitter, and what happened?
Well, last week I tried to log on to the account, and I got a message that the only thing it showed was a copy of the tweet that they said was offensive, with no explanation. They said, you have violated Twitter's rules for the following reasons, and then it was blank. And
so wait a minute, you don't even know why they cut you out.
Right, and so they gave me an option to appeal, and I appealed. And in my appeal, I basically said, look, you haven't told me what I've done wrong. Everything in here is exactly correct. I put it up there because you had tons of tweets on the other side claiming that the killer was a right-winger. And I was just trying to point out that, this guy was anything but a right-winger. And, the only reason why I think most people were claiming he was a right-winger because anybody who's a racist must be a right-winger. They can't believe that somebody's a socialist or an environmentalist could be a racist. And so I appealed, and then on Tuesday I got back an email from them saying that they had looked over it again and they saw no reason to change their original decision, and that I had violated the following rules, And again, it was blank. So, they just, again, they wouldn't...
So where can you go from here?
Well, I mean, I can go and agree to remove the tweet and acknowledge that I did something wrong in putting it up there, and that I will basically be promising not to do it again. But I didn't put up anything that was wrong, and I don't want to acknowledge that I did anything wrong in putting it up, because it's exactly correct. I mean, right-wingers don't normally declare, quote, conservatism is dead, end quote, or that, quote, global capitalist markets are the enemy of radical autonomists. This guy, he is a racist because he's an environmentalist. He is upset that third world people are coming to countries like New Zealand or Australia, and the reason why he's upset is because they have lots of kids. And he says having lots of kids will damage the environment. So it's important to keep races out of those European areas where they're going to have lots of kids and damage the environment. So, I mean, even his racism was based on environmental beliefs.
That must be why you were banned. You can't, declare what the man actually said in writing and tie environmentalism to racism, because I'm sure many of the people at Twitter are of this mindset of the hard left.
Yeah, I mean...
But the idea that they don't provide you with any specifics, and then you have to appeal, and then on the appeal decision, they don't provide you with any specifics, I mean, that's like some kind of Soviet or old Soviet or Red Chinese court.
Right. I mean, I spent some time looking around at Twitter to see whose other accounts may have been frozen on this, but there's all sorts of people who are having the most vitriolic language, saying that the killer was a right-winger and that Trump was responsible for the deaths, and that Trump has blood on his hands, and that people should take action against Trump for doing these things that you would think would violate...
Well, has Omar been banned for any of her anti-Semitic rants?
No, of course not.
Has Talib?
Right. No, I mean, obviously, I understand your point.
How about Ayah and her attacks on Nancy Pelosi as a racist?
No, of course not.
I see.
So, but, it's...
And by the way, Ayah, that's the Yiddish pronunciation, just so you know. John Lott, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where you go from here, do you?
Well, I mean, I guess in part the idea is to embarrass them. And I still have the Crime Prevention Research Center. We have our Twitter account there, Crime Research 1. And we pinned up at the top of our post there a picture of my original tweet along with their responses where they don't give an answer. And if people can...
So wait a minute, so far they haven't banned that particular one?
No, it's only been up for a week. Who knows? I mean, this other one...
They might now that you're talking about it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I would hope that if they do that, they'll be embarrassed. I would hope that they get embarrassed anyway for doing it. It's only... Look, I'm not for regulation. I'm not going to go and call that the government should go and regulate. Usually when the government regulates things, it just protects the companies, the industry that it's regulating. And I have no desire to entrench Twitter and Facebook and other places that are there. But that doesn't mean that, just as you set up alternative television and do your radio show to provide it, that doesn't mean we can't embarrass them and hopefully call attention to it and maybe get them to realize that there are other battles that they should fight.
John Lott, if people want to read more about this and about you and your group, where do they go?
Well, our website is crimeresearch.org, crimeresearch.org, and the Twitter account is @crimeresearch1.
All right, good luck. Keep us apprised. And there he goes, John Lott. He's a very earnest, decent man who comes under enormous attack because he's a true blue scholar, an academic. And he just doesn't go along with the crowd. You'll never see him on Meet the Depressed or Deface the Nation or Good Riddance America or any of those shows. You'll never see him. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. Center, and the Children's Foundation. You can help children served by all of these charities by supporting the August 5th tournament and visiting paulwsmithgolf.com.
You may not realize how important 3 letters can be. For a patient who needs type A, B, or O blood, these letters can mean life, but there simply aren't enough people giving blood. Without more donors, hospitals may not have the blood needed to save lives. That's why the American Red Cross needs people to help restore the A's, B's, and O's that are depleting each day. You are the missing type patients need. Visit redcrossblood.org/missing types or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make your donation appointment today.
Do you file now or later for Social Security? And what you need to know now to plan for retirement? Jim Brandstatter here. My friends Charles and David Bartlett of Senior Financial Center are hosting Social Security and Retirement University classes July 9th and 11th in Wyandotte. Attendees may request a complimentary Social Security analysis with specific instructions on how to increase their lifetime benefits. If you're between the ages of 55 and 68, you cannot afford to miss this educational presentation. Couples may be able to increase their Social Security benefits up to $80,000 annually. You cannot afford to make a mistake when you're in or near retirement. Understand the IRS rules to put more money in your pocket. To register for these upcoming events, call 888-813-3147 today to make a reservation. That's 888-813-3147, or for other events in your local area, go online to srfcenter.com and click on the Events tab.
Charles and David Bartlett are not affiliated or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency. Charles and David Bartlett are licensed for the products they sell in Michigan. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Sponsored by Case Legal Media. Attention, this is an important message for anyone that has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. The Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warns that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Monsanto, the manufacturer of Roundup, tells that Roundup and other weed killers are likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was taken from the Public Health Proprietary Trade Secret in 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to warn of the potential risk of cancer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call us now at 800-716-0457. Our network of attorneys are ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call now for a free consultation at 800-716-0457.
Told me my face looks young, I'm blown away. Using MDL technology and Chamonix's proprietary base, Genucel's brand new jawline treatment specifically targets the delicate skin around the neck and jaw for tight, healthy, younger looking skin. See results right before your eyes, or, listen up, 100% of your money back, no questions asked. Call now, and the classic Genucel for bags and puffiness is free with your order. And to start seeing results in 12 hours or less, Genucel Immediate Effects is also yours, free. No double chin, no turkey neck, and no sagging jawline, because no one needs to know your age. 800-SKIN-604, that's the number. 800-SKIN-604 or Genucel.com. Get your 2 free gifts and free express shipping. Call 800-SKIN-604 or go to Genicel.com. That's Genicel.com. 800-SKIN-604. What's today? Thursday? Yes. I guess that means tomorrow's Friday. I guess so. All right. Let's go here. Days go very fast for me. I don't know. I love what I'm doing, so it's hard to even track which day is what anymore. All right, let's go. Jim, Clear Lake, California, XM Satellite. Go.
Hey, how you doing today? Thanks for your voice of reason and giving us a chance to express our voice.
Thank you, sir.
The New Green Deal is, my belief, is more about deindustrializing the United States of America. When we started shipping companies overseas to build stuff, we shut our plants down. What made us great in World War II is we had...
Well, that has nothing to do with the Green New Deal.
Shut down
the Green New Deal wants to shut them down, period, not ship them anywhere.
No, exactly. That's my point. What got us to be one of the greatest fighting forces in World War II is we had a lot of men with real hearts, and we had a lot of companies that all they had to do is retool, from cars to Jeeps, from washing machines to helmets, and from sewing machines to machine guns. Well,
so if this Green New Deal takes hold, we won't even be able to do that.
Exactly my point.
Go ahead.
We don't have the plants open to just retool. They're dormant. It takes how long to get a plant restarted again? The steel.
No, but this is a great point you're making. I hadn't even thought about it. This, in addition to destroying our economic system, it will destroy our capacity to defend ourselves.
Exactly. Or others. We can't defend.
Sir, you have just won a signed copy of Unfreedom of the Press. Don't hang up.